All right, so we're ready to start putting this together now that our base has been completed. So let's just double check and make sure that our base is set up appropriately. So you should have 10 pieces that are straight up, okay? So they're raised up off of your table. And then you should have 9 sections that are completely flat to the table. Okay, so let's double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 pieces straight up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pieces flat on the table. Okay, so I'm actually going to set this aside, and the next thing you're going to do is you're going to want to grab a colored pencil that's going to show up on your paper. So when I talk about that, we're talking about the back of the paper. So I've already laid this one out. You can see that I used a blue colored pencil to be able to see the lines, and I'm going to demonstrate the same thing on the back of this one. So I'm going to use pink for this one. Any colored pencil that shows up is fine with me. So again, lots and lots of measurement in this project. So we're going to line this up and we're going to mark every inch. You should be really good at this point. We've been doing this a lot. So I'm going to mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay, you don't need to mark number 9. You're going to do the same thing at the bottom of your paper. Remember that we always need 2 points of measurement. So line that up carefully. Once you have it lined up, mark 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay? So now what we're going to do is we're going to connect each of those points with our ruler. So take your time to line those up, and then you are going to draw a line straight down. I'm going to speed this up a little bit for you in the video, but you're going to repeat this process for each inch. Okay, so there's the first one. Okay, so now that we have that done, we're going to label this with some numbers. We're going to write 1A, 2A, 3A, 4A, 5A, 6A, 7A, 8A, 9A. If you don't have 9 sections, there's an issue, okay? So why are we labeling this? Well, we're about to cut this up and we need to know what order to put them back in, okay? So the next thing we're gonna do is we're gonna set this aside for a moment. We're gonna grab our base and we're actually gonna label our base a little bit differently. We're still gonna have 9, but we're gonna start on this side with our 9. So I'm gonna write this in Sharpie for you so that you can see it very clearly on the screen, hopefully. Okay, so this is my one that's already done. You'll see with the first section that is touching the table, I'm going to label that 9A. So I'm going to bring this one over and I'm going to label this 9A. And I'm just going to count down. So I'm going to pull this flap over. This is going to be 8A, 7A, 6A, 5A, 4A, 3A, 2A, and 1A. Okay, so this is going to help us to put our pieces back together in the correct order. So next what you're going to do is you're going to grab a glue stick and a pair of scissors. All right, so now that you have your glue stick and your pair of scissors, you're going to grab your first paper. This is the one that you just labeled. And we are going to go ahead and very, very neatly cut on each of those sections. I am going to speed this up in the video, but rest assured that in reality, I am taking my time. We're going to cut right on those lines as neatly as we possibly can. Okay, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and use these as my guide. I'm going to put them in order. So here's my 9A. Here's my base. I'm going to go ahead and flip this over and put it in place. And I do recommend that you line these up, make sure that your number and letter at the top, just like they are on here. And the reason I would encourage you to lay them out before gluing them in is just to make sure that you have everything in the correct order. So you don't want to glue these down and then find out that you've made a mistake and glued something in the wrong place. So each one should fit snugly inside of those sections. Okay, so once you have it laid out and you know that you've put it back in the correct order, which those labels should help you do, now it's time to begin gluing them together. So I'm going to take my glue stick and might have to grab a new one here in a second. I'm going to put glue on here and on the strip. And before you glue it down, double check again to make sure that your numbers and lines are matching up. I'm going to grab another glue stick, and I'm of course going to put glue now on here as well. So I'm putting it on nice and thick. I really want these to stay in place. Now I'm going to take and make sure that my 9A is at the top with this 9A because I do not want to glue it in upside down. Okay, I'm going to press that firmly in place, and I'm going to continue that process the whole way through until I have the whole thing glued into place. So there you have it. It's all glued together. We're starting to see the effects come into place depending on what angle you're looking at that from. You're not seeing anything. If you're looking at it straight forward, you're seeing the whole art project. And if you're looking at it from another angle, you're not going to see anything. I'll hang it up in the classroom for you guys to check out. But this is the start. Obviously, we have to glue the rest of it together. So we only have one piece glued in right now, but we're starting to see it come together. And we'll come back in the next video and we'll do the next art piece on one of the sides.